I think great question and something which all MSMEs think of. The right time is now. If we look at how the ecosystem is evolving, if we look at how the tools are evolving and they are becoming more and more specific to different segments, we have the right kind of solutions, we have the right kind of tools in the market which can cater to all sorts of enterprises wherever they are in their growth journey. The way to look at this is also that if not now, then when? If the entire ecosystem is moving towards a more digital economy, then if the more time we take to move on to that path, the more opportunity is lost for an MSME. Instead of thinking of when is the right time, the question should be, what are the tools which are more appropriate for me at where I am right now? And I'm sure there are plethora of such solutions available which can be used, which can be tailored for a specific MSME. If we look at OnDC in particular, it stands for Open Network for Digital Commerce, and as the name suggests, it's about how we democratize the whole e-commerce market. Till now, what we are seeing is that there are certain platforms which have been developed where it is the platform has been developed for their own ecosystem players, and the ecosystem players are confined to the protocols which have been set by that platform. So it's a proprietary technology, proprietary platform, and only players who are part of that ecosystem can transact and take advantage. What OnDC is trying to do is open these blocks up, enabling kind of what UPI did to payments. So if we create that analogy, through a UPI, irrespective of what bank I am using, what financial institution the other person is using, we all transact seamlessly, the money gets transferred within seconds. OnDC is trying to do the same thing, where let's say I am a seller and you are the buyer. You may be using some buying app, I am using some other selling app, we both transact. And if we look at the biggest beneficiary is actually those MSMEs who are right now struggling to be part of those proprietary platforms. Now, even if I am a small MSME in some rural area, I can take advantage of the e-commerce platform to transact with any seller, any buyer. Therefore, the whole market opens up for me without paying the kind of fees, without getting logged in to those kind of proprietary technology and platforms which have been dominating the sector so far. Clearly, for an MSME, the biggest question is the cost, the return on investment. If we look at it from the perspective of pure cost, then it may not be the right way when it comes to digitization. What an MSME has to look at it is the value he or she is driving out of the investment. And that's where the question comes to what tool I'm using. The whole journey starts with first identifying the business need, the question and the problem that I'm trying to solve. Let's say I'm a small MSME and my first and foremost need is usually around compliances, is usually around my financing and the accounting system. Now that becomes part of my mandatory cost in a way. If I have to file my tax returns, I have to do it. It's a cost of running the business. So there, the cost question is, what is the right tool I can get at the cheapest price? Let's move on to the next stage. Let's say if I am a slightly more evolved MSME, where my business question that I'm trying to solve is increase my market outreach. How do I become more savvy in terms of how I manage my client relationships? There I go for, let's say, a CRM based system, which is around client relationship management. There, my ROI should be based more on that, okay, what money I'm paying for having this system versus the kind of increased sales I am able to generate, because I've been able to connect to my clients, my customers in a lot more efficient way, right? That's the relationship between the cost and the solution and the tool that I use. Now, the second question you had was around the skilling and the skill set that I need. Big question for any MSME. the kind of first of all, because the manpower which a typical MSME employs is less, and the biggest driver there is how efficiently I am using the same person to do multiple things. Therefore, clearly upskilling and reskilling of the same manpower that I have is very, very important. Getting them to understand the newer tools and bringing that attitudinal change. So the culture of the organization has to dramatically change from a hand ledger based system of managing the operations, inventory, etc., to a more digital based systems where there is more transparency, there is more reporting, and it's a lot more efficient is a big change for most of the enterprises. So how do you bring that change in the culture? And then of course the whole reskilling and the upskilling part of the same manpower becomes very important.